Hello, it's me, Gilly. Is gymnastics still a thing? When I was a child, gymnastics was a big deal. It was for kids in the late 80s, I think, early 90s. I feel like if your child wants to do gymnastics, they need to be some kind of like athletic wonder. They need to be a real prodigy. You need to sit that child down and look them in the eye and look deep within their soul and see if you can find a hint of an Olympian. Because there is no other point in doing gymnastics unless you are going to go all the way. Unless you're going to go all the way. You can't be like an amateur gymnast. You can't like do gymnastics for fun. Because it's not fun. It's hard. It's dangerous. And for every kid who wants to be an Olympic gymnast, there is a coach who wants it more. I think the late 80s was a big deal then, because the late 80s was a time where lycra and gymnastics came together. It was like the zenith of the leotard, the late 80s. Like the leotard had no idea that it had peaked. It was its ultimate peak, the late 80s, early 90s. And that was the reason I wanted to do gymnastics. Because I was in one of those recreation centers and I saw these girls and they were wearing these like shiny leotards and skin-colored tights. And the main ingredient, leg warmers. They had these leg warmers. They wore lots of them at a time and they were multicolored, and that did insane things to my little brain. I needed to have that. So I asked my mother if I could do gymnastics. That was the reason I started gymnastics, was for the outfits. That was my big plan. I'm going to do gymnastics and I'm going to get one of those outfits. And then, boy, I don't know what was going to happen then, but something was going to happen then. So I signed up. Anyway, I begged my mother for one of those outfits. This is what she says to me. She says, Gilly, if you stick this out for 6 months, I will get you whatever outfit you want. I mean, 6 months is like 6 years in a child's life. I didn't stand a chance. So the reason she said that was because I was chopping and changing sports and activities a lot at the time. You know, I couldn't really stick to anything because I was looking for like my sport. It would be years before I discovered that my sport was no sport. I mean, I don't know what little 8-year-old Gilly thought she was going to achieve in gymnastics. I really do not have that aptitude that I was talking about. Like, I can't even sit cross-legged for an extended period of time. Going to a picnic is a gymnastic exercise for me, and I won't do it. I can't even jump off like a moderately low wall because I get scared of that feeling when I'm falling. To this day, I have never done a cartwheel. So I don't know what little Gilly thought was going to happen once I had that outfit. Also, like, I'm averse to suffering. Always have been. I mean, I couldn't even wake up in the morning. That was too hard for me, to go to school. Imagine the level of laziness. I was very averse to suffering. To this day, I'm just not a sufferer. You know, not a sufferer. And if you want to be an Olympian, and especially a gymnast, you have to know how to suffer. If you see those videos of those little Romanian girls from like the late 70s, there was Nadia Comaneci. She was this absolute demon. She got like a perfect 10 score she was the first person to do that or something. And then they interview her. She's got this look on her face, like she's got like the troubles of a middle-aged woman. She's got these dark rings under her eyes, and she looks like she's like 11, and she looks like she's like a single mom with 2 jobs, you know. They ask her, they interview her, they say, Nadia, how come you never smile? And little Nadia answers, is because I only think of routine. In my head, I only think of routine. Shame. And everybody around her, all the adults are like, oh yes, this is our little wonder. Shame. Everyone was just okay with it. Coaches, parents. It's another reason you'll never see a Jewish child on an Olympic gymnastics podium. Because Jewish parents would never let their children suffer like that. So if you're a Jewish parent, stop standing in the way of your child's Olympic dreams. Because I promise you they will fuck it up for themselves. See you tomorrow.